If you grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s in a Disney-loving family, chances are you had a large collection of Disney VHS tapes. Just as likely, you probably had a couple of these tapes in your collection. Disney sing-along songs were a series of tapes that combined a bunch of famous Disney songs together with lyrics to sing along to. It might seem kind of pointless, but keep in mind, these were the days before YouTube. The only way you'd be able to watch any of these numbers was if you owned the movie. Not only was actually owning the movie a hassle, these were the days of the dreaded Disney Vault, but fast-forwarding through an entire movie just to watch one scene is kind of a waste of time. Which is why these compilation tapes were so popular. In the US alone, over 32 tapes were released. I think a further deep dive into the series might be warranted in the future. But if you'll allow me to indulge in a little bit of my childhood nostalgia this week, I want to take a look at one of my favorites from the series, Under the Sea. Unlike some of the other compilations, this one actually has a consistent theme throughout. They're all nautical, themed around the ocean and water and all that fun stuff. It includes both Disney tunes and standards paired with clips from various Disney cartoons. And that's about it. I no longer own the physical tape, I gave it away a couple years ago, so I'll be going off of the rip I did before then. Though I do wish I could show you the gaping hole that was on one side of it. Because I put it in the TV the wrong way, it got stuck, ruining the VHS player and causing my mother a lot of grief in the process. And yet, it still somehow worked when I put it in years later. Meanwhile, I breathe on one of my DVDs and it won't play properly ever again. Okay, I think I've wasted enough time giving introduction and context, so let's just sit down and actually watch the tape.
Is everybody ready?
To sing along!
It's Disney song!
A Disney sing-along!
I think this entire sequence is just burned into my psyche. Decades into the future, I'll be sitting in the middle of a room, strapped to a hospital bed, and be just singing in my head, "Come on in and sing along with your favorite Disney songs." The clips in this sequence come from a couple of old Disney cartoons, Melody and Toot, Whistle, Plunk, and Boom. They were essentially music theory lessons for kids, learning about principles of melodies and where musical instruments come from.
Sing along!
It's Disney song!
A Disney sing-along! The study of musical instruments is the subject for today.
Professor Al the teacher was one of the main narrators of this series, but was gradually phased out as it went along. He would be substituted with Jiminy Cricket, and for this tape...
Ahoy there!
Yes, Professor Von Drake will be our guide for this video. And similar to how animation was recycled for the intros, all of his animations were recycled from old episodes of the Disney Anthology series. The clips from this tape are taken from the Mediterranean cruise, which was about traveling to different places along... well, take a guess. All of the lines were dubbed, courtesy of Corey Burton, who does a damn fine voice match of Paul Frees.
And the good ship Von Drake is on her way.
And the good ship Von Drake is on her way!
Anyways, Von Drake starts off with our journey by taking us down where it's better, down where it's wetter. Yeah, we're starting off with the big tile number, Under the Sea. No building up to it or anything, just starting with it right away. I guess, given that this is for kids, you wanted to hook them in real quick. I mean, I'm not complaining. Under the Sea is a great song and one of Menken and Ashman's best work. It won the Best Song Oscar for a reason, after all.
Out on the shore they work all day, out in the sun they slave away, while with the 14 foot and floating under the sea.
Not much to say about its appearance here, except that the first verse is looped and a clip in the bridge is replaced. You know how in the movie Ariel and Flounder snuck off together? They replace it with a clip from Part of Your World. Yeah, I don't know either. Whatever, it's a great song and you can see why it's here.
Bravo! Encore!
We get another tangent from Von Drake before getting into our next song, By the Beautiful Sea. This song was originally written in 1914, with music by Harry Carroll and lyrics by Harold Etteridge. It was originally performed by the Heldenberg Quintet, and originally sounded like this.
By the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea, you and I, oh how happy we'll be.
Though if you're one of my viewers, you might recognize it from the Haunted Mansion movie.
Where's the key? Where's the key? Where's the beautiful key?
I am so ashamed it took me so long to recognize what that song is from. This is a new recording of the song, performed by Don and Ginny Grady, accompanied by clips from the Mickey Mouse cartoons, Wild Waves, and The Beach Party. Both of these cartoons were in black and white originally, but are colorized for this film. Because, God forbid, you show a kid something in black and white. It's a super catchy song, and it fits perfectly with the theme. Nothing more to say than that.
Seaside to seaside, by the beautiful sea.
Another transition from Von Drake follows.
Whew, your captain is scanning the horizon for our next port of call. Let's see. Ah, there it is. Oh, it's my lunch.
Which brings us into our next song, Never Smile at a Crocodile from Peter Pan. With music by Frank Churchill and lyrics by Jack Lawrence, it possibly has the most interesting backstory of all the songs here. It was written for Peter Pan, but if you know the movie, you know it's never actually sung. You hear it as an instrumental several times, but you never hear the lyrics. You were supposed to, but they were cut. This might be the most famous cut Disney song of all time. It's had a bunch of different covers and versions. Even the Muppets took their turn at it. This version is sung by Mark Miller and Richard Purcell.
Don't be taken by this web. He's imagining how well you fit within his.
Also, can I just say that the slapstick in Peter Pan is just perfection? Okay, I'm getting off topic. Let's move on. Von Drake decides to go on a tangent about magic and tries to put a spell on himself. It goes as well as you'd expect.
Let me see, it says Aquarius, Aquaticus, Aqualitus, Aquadigital, no!
This takes us into our next song, That's What Makes the World Go Round from The Sword in the Stone. I don't think I ever actually watched Sword in the Stone when I was a kid, so my exposure to it was limited to just the Disney sing-along tapes. I remember one of them had Hiccutus Figus in it, and this song was in two of them. The music was by the Sherman Brothers, so it doesn't surprise me that the soundtrack would get highlighted. I don't think That's What Makes the World Go Round is considered one of their best works, but it is a really great song. And I like the extra chorus that they add in this version. It makes the tune more peppy and fast-paced.
Left and right, the day and night, that's what makes the world go round. In and out, in and out, that's what makes the world go round. For every up there is a down, for every square there is a round, for every high there is a low, for every two there is a row.
Maybe if more of the song was like this, it would be better known. Whatever, it's classic Sherman Brothers. Good stuff.
Oh, let go, let go, let go!
We return to The Little Mermaid for our next song, Kiss the Girl. There isn't a lot to say about it here. It's literally just the scene from the movie without any bells and whistles. Again, it's a really great song, and that's about all there is to talk about it. This was also nominated for Best Song. Part of Your World was too. This happened enough time with Disney songs that the Academy put a limit on how many songs could be nominated from the same movie. And I guess that proves how good Disney music is right there. The next song is another one not from a Disney movie, At the Codfish Ball. This was written by Paulette Mitchell for the Shirley Temple movie Captain January. The one on this tape, sung by Andy Belling and Don Grady, takes a different approach. Some of the lyrics are cut and the tempo is slowed down considerably. It has more of a relaxed and chill vibe. Here's the original. And here's this version.
Trucking left and right, it is mooching, what a night. There won't be a hook inside at the codfish ball.
You see what I'm talking about, right? And the clips featured in this music video come from Merbabies, King Neptune, Water Babies, How to Fish, and there are even some clips from Bedknobs and Broomsticks in there. And now that you've heard the tune, it'll be in your head all day. You're welcome. Our next song is actually a mashup, Sailing, Sailing, and the Sailor's Hornpipe. Sailing, Sailing was written in 1880 by Godfrey Marks. The Sailor's Hornpipe goes back even further, with the first transcript dating to 1770. You probably heard both of these songs before, and when put together, they complement each other nicely. It just goes back and forth between the chorus from Sailing and a verse from Hornpipe, but it works. The song is also presented differently. You don't really follow the bouncing ball in this song, and the font is all fancy, with mermaids and anchors put into some of the words. I won't list off all the cartoons that these clips were pulled from, because there are just too many. Look it up on your own time. Good stuff. Nothing more to say than that. Another transition from Von Drake. I haven't been detailing every single one of them because they're just kind of there and they're all the same. Brings us back into the Disney realm with our next song, Whale of a Tale from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It should be no secret that I really love this movie, and this tape was probably my first introduction to it. Written by Al Hoffman and Norman Gimbel, it's the only song in the entire movie, comes right the hell out of nowhere, and leaves just as quickly. I am not complaining. More movies need random musical numbers. Not much to say about it here, except that the Harpoon Hannah verse is cut, which doesn't surprise me. That verse always gets cut. Whatever. It's a great song, and I'm glad it's here.
We love it, and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo.
I don't have a tattoo. Was I off key?
And then the tape makes a sudden hard turn into depression and sadness. When we get into the next song, Someone's Waiting for You from The Rescuers. Music by Sammy Fain, lyrics by Carol Connors and Ann Robbins. Again, I don't think I ever saw The Rescuers as a kid, so this was my only exposure to it. And I think I might have stayed away because of it. Because this is just the saddest freaking thing ever. I get that you want to include a slower song near the end, but god damn is this emotional whiplash. Haha, Von Drake being funny, crying children. But once you get past that, yeah, the song is really freaking good. This was nominated for Best Original Song, and you can see why. It's just a plea to someone who's lost all hope to keep hanging on and to not give up, and... Sorry, if you'll excuse me for a second, I think I've got something in my eye. One last surprise of Under the Sea closes us off. This version gives us a promo at the end of all of the other Disney sing-along tapes that you can pester your parents to buy. And then, it comes to an end. So that was Disney sing-along songs Under the Sea. Normally I'd finish off with some kind of final thoughts about how it held up, but can't really do it this time. This isn't really connected with an overarching story that I can easily dissect and sum up. It's just a collection of songs. But that said, the collection is really good. It's just classic song after classic song. I can't really pick out any of them that were bad or the weak link. And they go together pretty well. The tape picked a theme and stuck to it. If you're looking to introduce any of your young ones to the world of Disney, or you just need a little bit of Disney magic in your day, then I'd say that this is a pretty good place to start. So come on in and sing along with some of these amazing songs. And that concludes the video. If you want to hear me talk about more of these old sing-along tapes, let me know down in the comments. But what did you think of these? Did you have any of these tapes as a kid? Which one was your favorite? Whatever you're thinking, let me know down in the comments. If you want to help support the show, consider hitting up my Patreon, where you can get early episode access, regular channel updates, personalized video requests, and other perks. Link in the description below. But that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.